Alrighty, and we're back into it after a short interlude. So with our server having a wipe this afternoon, I just wanted to do a final tour of my main base and our Screamer arena before we update our map and all of that gets wiped. Might do a bit of a float over some of the other bases on the server. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what everybody builds in the next round. So this is my humble little house. I've played around a little bit with some of the new block shapes around on my fence line, which is nice to have a few different things that we can use now. The building is really nice, being able to pick what material you want to make your blocks out of, and be able to actually craft them on you, not having to craft them in a cement mixer or in the workbench, so that's really helpful. So our top level is just our little mezzanine level with our reading nook and our fireplace. Our second level is pretty much all just farming and gardening, and was a good place to be able to sort of have a look around a bit closer to the ground. And then our next layer down is more farming. We certainly didn't have any issue with food after about day 10, which was nice. Loving these angle blocks, they're really helpful. Saves on resources when you're building and upgrading and repairing. So I started painting my base the other day, but I haven't quite finished it, but it is what it is. So this is a little kitchen area with lots of things to eat. And our beautiful working sink. And over here to our wall garden. Offered lots of visibility. Not so much of an issue now that we've got the big fence, but prior to that we would get screamers walking right up to the front door. And then down here is our crafting and working floor. So we had our chemistry station, workbench, our forges and our cement mixers. Loving these drawers. They are only available in the creative menu or in our world because we have lootable stacks and pallets. When you loot the blue bags of cobblestone or the cement, you find all sorts of really cool building items, including mannequins, which is why my yard is littered with mannequins. You also find ore, which is why we have a nice little mining area set up outside. That's also where we found like the furniture that we have set up around the place. And that's where I found the roller doors. So that's pretty much our little indoor base. I generally build a sunken level just so you're not wasting resources. I like to have a nice thick outer wall so that you've got at least 2 blocks before anything really happens. We've got 3 on this one because we have a skin on the outside of the plates, so that just adds another layer of protection. Yeah, that is my base. Now it's night time, so that's magical. Alright, so Just close my door just to be safe. Go for a bit of a tour around. So this is our main front entrance. We also found some player vending machines, which were cool. We're selling all of our excess items. We found all these ember piles, which just add a little bit of something. Some rabbits. Zombie bear. Well, no, it's not a zombie bear, but it's a bear. And it doesn't move, it's static. So one of our newer players built a base over here. This is as far as he's gotten so far. So I'm not quite sure what our next map's going to look like. We had a vote on our Discord to see which map we would like to play. So hopefully there'll be new challenges and adventures in our new world. So the other day when I came out of my roller door on my motorbike, I had 3 bears and 5 dogs spawn in at Trader Joe's, which is amazing. So here we have my horde base. I think I've done about 4 or 5 hordes in it so far. I haven't repaired it since the last horde that I did in it. Basically they walk along here, you have these open and then you can shoot them or hit them. It's nice because if they drop bugs you can reach through and get them. Cop took out my trapdoor that was there. Oh look, we've got a bear friend.
My senses have picked up something.
Yeah, thanks Captain Obvious. Get back here. Oh, look, he's going to come over to us, that's nice. Be right with you, sir. Cool, so that works. So as you can see, they come up the staircase, they come along the cement walkway and straight up to your window, which is nice for harvesting. So that was helpful. Thanks for your help with that demonstration, Bear. Alrighty. You've got your light on, drone? No, you do now. Alright, so yeah. The stairs leading up is helpful. I didn't put like those sorts of stairs the whole way up. These ones are just like half stairs, just to slow them down a little bit. Is that a wolf? Round 2. Where is he?
Master, we are not alone.
Yeah. So as you can see, that works quite well. Any more animals out here before we head off? We've had a bear and a wolf. Any other takers? No. Alrighty, well before we head off I am going to repair this. Alrighty, we will just make sure my door is down, yes. We'll head off to our next location. Although we might be better off going out this way first because it's a little bit dark. We might go to some of the other houses. It's quite dark tonight. At least it's not foggy. So have a look over here, this is Ozzy's base. Complete with decorative lighting, which is very pretty. So he's got the good old arrow slit force field going on, which will no longer work I don't think with the Alpha 20.1 update. I don't think their pathing's different, so I don't think that actually works anymore, but it'd be interesting to test it out. So I believe his zombies would come up here, they'd walk along here where they would get blended, if not once but twice. And then here he's got a nice little pressure plate with some dart traps. Assuming he was going to do a second staircase maybe out this way. And then in here he's got his turrets. And all of his bits and pieces. And he's got another little turret, another one there. All of his electricals and his switch. And then down here he's got all of his storage. Another little area that he could open up if he wanted to. So yeah, quite interesting. It's always interesting to see the way that different people build their horde bases in their homes. I prefer to have my horde base separate from my home. I used to have them both together, but when things go bad you tend to lose a lot more than you really want to, and I wasn't interested in losing everything that I had spent a lot of time making and foraging for. So I generally try and make a house and a horde base. So next on our tour, where is... Sure, yes, here. This is Fridge's base, that's his version of Bag End. Nice little nod to the Hobbit. So you can see he's got his beautiful dismembered mannequin in the front yard and deck chair. Nice little view of the town and someone's tree farm. So very minimalistic inside, as you can see. Basically just a nice little place to hide out overnight. He's got a mine that goes down with the sneaky hay bale so he doesn't kill himself. Smart move. It's not so much the falling and the breaking of the limb that I don't like, it's that sound that it makes when your leg snaps. Not pleasant. He's got beautiful little candle and a nice little plant down here. I believe he's got a couple of different bases around the place. This is probably one of the cuter ones that I've seen. Very cute. Alright, then over here This is Tiger's base. So this used to be a big square house, and then he reconfigured it into a pyramid. So inside, it's fairly straightforward. And then he also has got a mine that goes down. With all of his storage here. Again, these things here come out of the lootable pallets that we've got on our server, so you find all sorts of weird bits and pieces. Go down a little bit more. So here he had his workroom with his cement mixers and his workbench. And supplies. And then over here he had another huge big room with all the things that he'd been, I don't want to say hoarding, but hoarding. So he literally had a box for absolutely every... What the heck is bear nuts? Bear nuts? Cool. Don't know what bear nuts are. What else has he got written? Let's have a look. Duct tape. Bit of duct tape and bear nuts. Fuel. Bear nuts are still funny. So definitely been very successful in all of his looting. To need all these boxes makes my 8 or 9 boxes at my place look really sad, but I generally sell everything that I don't need or help out new players within reason. So this seems to be his wall of all of his food items. And his oven and his cooktop. Don't see a sink. And then this way to his forges and his chem station. And then that led around to his other one. So yeah, so that was his base. Alrighty. And then over here, we've got somebody who's gotten very creative with their looted ores. Looks quite pretty. They were constructing a nice fence all the way around their plots too, but we did a few hordes over in Trader Joel's and bits of the wall kept on getting destroyed, so I think they gave up. So over here we have Enrage's trader that he requested when he donated to our server, supported our gameplay and the life of our server for a bit longer. So this is where he set up his shop, where people could come and buy things out of his vending machine. Really handy if you're just missing 1 or 2 books or schematics that you're after. This is his little veggie patch, super cute. It's got a nice little dog cage, nice little dumpster complete with flies, it's lovely. Beautiful Navezgane National Forest sign. Neighbourhood members chest. Let's have a look at what he's got going on. Look, he's got beautiful carpet down. Very nice, very fancy. And I do like his use of the marble paint. He's got his little kitchen, that's very nice. Plate with fridge and some shelving, some storage. He's got his oven, and his sink. Oh, soda fountain, it is fancy. Then over here he's got all of his different bits and pieces. And then he's got his workbench and all those things. He's got himself a nice little drink dispenser. This is where he's obviously got all of his ammo and his tools. And then up his little staircase. Oh, he's got a gym, a home gym. Well, that is important. It's important to have a gym so you can work out at the end of a busy day fighting the apocalypse. And he's got his bed with his clothes and his gun bag. Nice. No bathroom though. And then up here he had his solar banks. Nice. And then a nice flat roof. Oh, yep, I see. Nice. So a little bit more styled. Looks a little bit more comfier than some of the other builds. Bit of art to make you feel like you're still part of something bigger than just the apocalypse. Nice. Alrighty. So next we'll go across the road and have a look at Hatespace. It hasn't been on for ages that I've seen, so I don't know if it's changed much since last time I looked at it. So he has like this little pavilion up here, which I believe is like an early day base. Went up with the spiral staircase, which is one of the new blocks for Alpha 20. So obviously I've been doing a little bit of digging. And then most of his base was over this way. He had it all built around the mountain, so I could stand up on one of these and shoot down during hordes. Not a bad spot. He had his gate here so that he could drive his vehicles in. And then he had his doors into his tunnel and his mine. He's been quite creative with his styling. Oh look, he's got one of our favourite drawers. All sorts of cool things. They are really cool, those drawers. Because they don't take up much floor space, they just take up a block, but you can still actually walk in there. Oh, he's got the snazzy blue carpet too. Very pretty. All of his books and bits and pieces. Nice little kitchen alcove. Oh, he's got a ceiling fan. We are very fancy down here. And in here he's got all of his bits and pieces for making things. His bed. Cool. Alrighty, so that's Hatespace. Where will we go next? Maybe we'll go over and have a look at Brother's base, and then we will have a look at Red's base. Well, his horde base anyway. Nobody knows where his main base is, he's too sneaky. So this is another base that we stumbled across, not quite sure whose it is. It's like a pit style for a horde night. So you can stand up here and shoot out and down. As you can see, the drone's lighting it up nicely down there. They've used some of the new blocks. Looks quite pretty. Very nice. And then up on the top, they've got their work area. It's quite pretty up amongst the trees. Usually chop all my trees down so I can see what's coming. They've left theirs a little bit more natural, which is quite nice. Especially in this morning mist, it's very pretty. Where is... this way. Alright, so over here we've got another base. Well, it's an early game base. I think they only played for about 2 days in game. But they kept getting eaten by bears, so I can't really say as I blame them. So they had a little bit of stuff, some boxes, and a little mine. I generally don't dig mines under my house only because I've had my house collapse. If I'm going to do that, I generally will put down like corners all the way down to bedrock and then dig out underneath before I make a house on top of it. But each to their own, whatever works for you. It's a good part about this game is that you can literally play it however you like, and there is a lot of trial and error, and sometimes things don't work the way you want them to, and some things work better than what you thought they were going to, and every time you think you've figured it out, they bring out another patch and nerf the things that you thought you'd found a workaround, like the force field. Alright, so this is Brother's base and his majestic, way too big tree farm. So we will not be having so many tree farms in our next server because it really does cause a lot of lag. And if you're trying to fight a horde with all that in the background, it is near on impossible to see what's going on. So he's had a bit of a play with some of the new shapes. Little spiky blocks. He's obviously found himself a slippery slide. Don't know that I'd want a slippery slide into the spikes, but anyway. A nice little tunnel. It's a bit cute. And more spikes. And more spikes. Fort Homely. Well, that's nice. Fort Homely, and it's surrounded by spikes. So I'm assuming this is where the zombies come down. And he's got his junk turret down there. A basketball hoop. That's important. Another one over here. Yep, so he's got all of his wiring. Oh, look at his stained glass. That's pretty. Very nice. Got some storage. Cement mixer. Generator. Alright, so you go over here, and then you go up. That's how he gets up here. Oh, yep, I see, so then he can shoot down. Oh, he's already got body bags, he's already been killing things. He's got a school bell, that's nice. He's got quite a big base. Oh, he's got a beautiful outdoor alfresco dining area. Very pretty. Barbecue and all. Oh yes, and he's got a nice bedroom. Plenty of clothes storage, that's really important, and a little personal library. Very nice. Oh, he's got a snake cage. Let's hope there's no snakes in here though. He's got a satchel. Anything in his satchel? No, it's empty. Alright, we'll go down the stairs. That's where he's got his light switch. And his workbench. And his chem station. Lots of safes, he's very rich. More libraries. Oh, he's got TV and a nice couch area. Very nice. And he's got his gym equipment. And this is like his kill area. Like the squishy things. Nice. That's how you get out to his garden. Got plenty of food. Got it all organised. Very nice. This looks like it was a work in progress. Nice view from up here. Lots of trees. Cool. Has been very busy. Let's make sure we're headed the right way. We are wanting to go this way. So many trees. Alright, so now we're in the wasteland. Here we have Red's base. So he's also got a staircase that goes up, and he's perfected his design over the different maps that I've seen him use it on. It's changed a little bit each time, but generally a very similar setup, obviously with the different shapes, and the zombies been able to get through a single block hole now. He's had to tweak it quite a bit for this build, but it seems to be working really, really well for him. So he hides all of his electrics nicely out of the way where they can't get damaged, which is a great idea. They're also really easy to get to if you need to fix them. So it's always good to be thinking ahead because you never know what's going to happen in a horde. He has rooftop access, so when I come and fight hordes with him, this is where I would generally hang out. I like to be up on the top. But we haven't done one on the top out here together in this server. We always seem to be on at different times. And then downstairs is where he generally has all of his bits and pieces hidden away out of the way. Alrighty, so the second part of his base is a pit. So the idea is that you sit down at the bottom and the zombies walk along the edge and fall in. One of the first horde bases I ever built was a big pit like this. Done slightly differently. Probably had way too much stuff going on than what I should have done, but first horde base is always going to be a little bit interesting. So the last time I did a horde with Red, we sat down here and we shot the zombies either as they were down there or as they were falling from above. I didn't have my best weapon on me, unfortunately, which made it a little bit difficult to see up the chute, but we certainly took care of the ones that were on the ground, and he was really good at snipering all the ones that were standing around the top. Having those circle blocks at the top was a really great idea because you can shoot through them, and it keeps them still for a few seconds so you can sort of get them before they drop. So his access to his base is a nice long tunnel. I'm assuming he had an auger, because that's an awful long way to have to use a pickaxe to. Some dedication right there. And he's got a door, and then another tunnel, and then just the standard ladder to get up and out. Again, really great idea, building the exit up off the ground, so when you come out, should there be anybody waiting for you, you've at least got a fighting chance to be able to shoot them and not get eaten straight away. I also love the fact that he built his little tower and tunnel right next to this little path here, so it literally leads right the way up to his other section of his base. So that's, I don't know if he did that or if it was already here, but either way, nice touch. So there was also something going on over here, I don't really know what it was. I think it's just a collection of stuff that somebody's found that they've sort of plopped out all over the place. Looks like it might have been a night one base. So there is a bed and a campfire. It's very exposed to be in the wasteland biome with such little cover with all those vultures. Who else's bases do we have around here? Nobody's, I don't think, out this far. Red's generally the only one that's game enough to have a base in the wasteland. Well, we might head over and have a look at the Screamer Arena. So some of the players were keen on making Screamer farms, just so that they could check out the new Screamer in Alpha 20. So we decided to take it a step further and create an arena that was somewhat impervious, so that we didn't have to constantly repair it. We made sure we placed lots of fiery barrels around it so it draws in lots of attention. If you've got quite a few players there, you do get an awful lot of zombies spawning in. We haven't been able to do a horde there, which is a little bit disappointing, but I'll do Screamer Arena 2.0 on our new server, so we'll be able to have a fiddle with it then. Alrighty, here we have our Screamer Arena. So all the craters that are in the ground are because things have been blown up. We had lots of more vehicles and different things, different debris that players could stand on and shoot zombies, different things that zombies could get up on. Lots of these burning barrels to attract all the attention. So the whole outer skin is built with bedrock so that it doesn't actually break. Got a nice tire pile here. We did have more barrels and cars around, but as you shoot them and the zombies jump on them and attack them, they do blow up. Some fun spots that we could stand and shoot, depending on how up and close you want to get to them. And our beautiful Screamer Arena sign, so people knew what they were getting into. So then once inside, again it's all bedrock on the base. I built it with steel blocks first. Well, I actually built the frame, the base of the frame, out of the wood blocks first so that I could step it out and try and get it as symmetrical as possible. I did, however, realise that there was an error in my calculations, but by then I had already made it all steel, so I couldn't really do much about it, but it is what it is. Nobody else would notice but me. So it's basically a circle. And it's just got railings around it, more so that we don't fall out of it. You don't really want to fall down there when you've got a heap of screamers. We had started it with the idea that we would put turrets down in the bottom bit down here. Down in here. We did have turrets in there, but once you open up... Once you opened up these roller doors, the zombies would just attack them anyway. So we ended up not using them. We did have sunken battery banks in some of the little shafts down like this. Most of us did end up standing here and shooting them if we want to be down at this level. You can put like your junk turrets down, they work alright down here. We did have solar banks, but they all got annihilated from the cops that spawned in. Kind of hard to protect a solar bank when it's on your roof from spitting vultures and things. You can't really build anything over it because it needs to be solar powered. So in each corner we had a little ladder that would go down to the base area. Lots of little bits and pieces. Again, we had more vehicles down here, but they've all been blown up. So you'd come up here, make sure you close your hatch behind you. We've got trapdoors to get over into the middle section. Just make sure that we put them up behind us so we don't get any unwanted friends. Some interesting. So up here we had our fires, so we could light those when we wanted to bring in extra attention. Or if it was nighttime we wanted some additional light. But it worked pretty well. Down here we have another area you could shoot out of. We did have a few of these blocks getting damaged. We did have the bedrock in here down a little bit lower. We found we had too many of these lower blocks getting damaged and the bars getting damaged very quickly when we had multiple players in here. So we ended up just bringing up the bedrock one more block just to help. It doesn't really stop it, but it sort of slows it down a little bit. And down here is where we have all of our supplies. So like ammo, weapons, medical and food and drink. And yeah, so that's pretty much our Screamer arena. Worked out pretty nicely and it's not too bad. I think it took me about 4 hours to build. So that's not too bad at all, I don't think. Ooh, airdrop. Race you to it. Don't really need anything. It's very quiet. I thought we would have had at least one friend rock up by now. It must be because I'm in God mode and they're too scared. Anybody? So generally when we're going to do a bit of gameplay in here. We open up all of the roller doors around the outside just so that they don't get damaged by things trying to get in. The idea is you want them to get into the middle, that's the whole point. The roller doors are really only there so that when you are trying to repair things, you don't get them creeping up on you. Oh, there she is. Look, she must have heard me talking about her.
Incoming enemies. Prepare for conflict.
So gross. Did you bring some friends? Or you brought a whole, what, 2? She's so gross. More friends? Go around and open up all the rollers. So they don't get damaged. And we might close that one back up.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
A little bit hard to see them from here. Usually I stand here so I can shoot down at them. Ugh, that sound. It's not okay, lady. It's like she's purring. Where is she? Little tappy tappy. Where are you, lady? There you are.
My senses have picked up something.
So the other thing is, when I updated the other day, my game stage dropped. You can see my enemy kills. So obviously I'm not level 2, but for some reason when we updated to Alpha 20.1 stable, it reduced my game stage. So that's why we've only got one little tiny screamer and a handful of zombies, which I didn't really think of. A little bit disappointing, but you know.
enemies, prepare for conflict.
Them all. Little weirdos. As you can see, some of the areas have been a little bit damaged. People have been in here playing, which is good, that's what it's here for.
My senses have picked up something.
Is it that you're annoying? Because if it's that you're annoying, I'm already aware. I do wish there was more animals in this game, like different ones. But can't really complain. Overall, it's still probably my favourite game, so... Got over 1,200 hours in it nearly, so can't be too bad. I think I paid $30 for it, so that's a pretty decent return. I can hear somebody, where are you? They sound like they're snoring. Hello, where are you? I want to shoot you.
Master, we are not alone.
Yeah, but we kinda are, because I can't see anybody else. Oh, there you are. So yeah, anyway, that's our Screamer arena. Worked really well. It was fun. Probably going to build one in a bit more of a prominent area in our new map. Not too close to town, obviously, because you do not want them spawning in left, right and centre when you're trying to do quests. But somewhere that's maybe a little bit more accessible. I did build this one a little bit out of the way just because I didn't know what it was going to look like. And if it looked like crap and I built it out of bedrock, I would like to be able to hide it easily. But it worked out pretty good. So, would definitely look to do something similar in my next build.
My senses have picked up something.
Who is tapping? Bloody Darlene. Crutch shot. Trying to place these drawbridges was the bane of my existence when I was building this, and I came back and 3 of them had been destroyed. Luckily, I was able to replace them really quickly. For some reason that day, it just worked. So yeah, that's my little Screamer arena. And yeah. Sad to see it go, but time for a new adventure. Drone, get out of my way. Well, that's pretty much it from me for now. I'm gonna go and set up my server refresh, and I will catch everybody in my next stream. Have a great rest of your day.